Do you like that? Love you.
Oh, Daddy.
There's the reworked trailer right there that I just showed. So this is what it's looking like. They made this space right here for me, because as you can see over here, you can't fit your rollers. There's 6 of them. There's no way to fit them in here. So here's my space that they made me to put the rollers, and these 2 were there. So I had to take them out. I left my rollers over here all weekend. Didn't know what else to do. I pulled the trailer in here and just left them there. I'm surprised somebody didn't take them, but at least they did. I've got all those greased up with WD-40 now, so they roll a lot better. So I'll go ahead and get them loaded up in there. Shoving boxes in this thing, because when I got my rollers in there, I have no room whatsoever for these other 2 boxes. There's my rollers. Look over here. Okay, we're leaving the DC now, the distribution center here in Morehead, Kentucky, and we're going to Mississippi again. And all these stores in this load are in Mississippi. Me and Carter are here at a rest area in Tennessee, and so we're heading from here to Mississippi. What is this doing? Okay, yeah, we're heading to Mississippi. Let me see where exactly. Okay, we're going to Lexington, Mississippi, which is a long drive. Yeah, 323 miles to go still, so we're around halfway there, and we've been driving for a while now. But anyways, something that delayed me this morning, and I knew it would because I'd seen it Friday, because I was going to bring the trailer home with me Friday for this week. And when I opened the trailer, it was so full that the freight was all the way up against the door. There was no room for my rollers, so I ended up having to take my rollers out of my empty trailer, leave them there, just laying on the ground, and then leave the trailer there because I knew I'd have to come back for my rollers either way because I had nowhere to put them. And it's all because they haven't got me a rack yet on this truck, so hopefully they do that soon. That's really a hassle, because I could have saved myself probably an hour and a half, because it's about 40 minutes from my home, the DC is. I could have saved myself about an hour and a half if I would have brought the trailer home with me Friday, and that's what I was going to do. I was hooked up to it and everything. But then when I got hooked up, I realized how full it was, and there was nothing I could do about it. So today I had to get one of the yard guys, because I called them and asked them what to do, you know, the fleet manager, or the driver leaders, I think they call them. And I called them and asked them, and they said to find a yard guy and tell them that it needed to be reworked. So the yard guy came over there. He was really friendly and got the trailer, brought it to one of the docks there on the building, the distribution center itself, and then they kind of just organized it a little bit. And even after that, though, it was hard, not a lot of space to get the rollers in. My last check, it was only for around 3 days, and I cleared over $1,000 for that check. It was only around 3 days of work too, which surprised me. I didn't expect that amount. Here you can get $250 a week advance if you need it, and I've been needing it because there was a big gap in between rail and US Express, like a 2-week gap, which is big, really, for no pay, which really is more than that. For the pay, it's probably more like a three-week gap for the pay, or a month even. So, and that hurts you, when you've got a wife and kids, and just this economy right now, the way it is, period, it hurts that much more. Right now we're taking our 30-minute break. We had to take it, and then we're gonna head on to Mississippi. And last time I was in Mississippi, Carter came with me. I don't think these stores will be as big, which I could be wrong though, because last time it was only 3 stores, but it wasn't filled all the way to the door either. This time, this is the fullest I've had a trailer yet. And every one of them in Mississippi, I had to block traffic on the road, both directions, and back in off the road. So some of those stores you're able to pull straight into and get turned around and back in, but there's quite a few. Every one of them in Mississippi, I wasn't able to do that. So I'm kind of nervous about that. What I do is, like my trainer said, get on Google Earth, type that address in, and kind of look at what the parking lot looks like. That way you got an idea of what entrance to use and how to get in there if you got to back in and block traffic or whatever. But there's been quite a few different things I've had to do. There's been more than one occasion where I get to the store, and once I see the entrance and stuff, I have to pass the store up and come in from another direction, or set up a different way, because there's just no way I can do it the way that I'm at that point, in the road. And there's no backing up at that point, really. Or it'd be very hard to, because some of these roads are very busy and stuff. Like the one in Mississippi, when I was in Jackson, Mississippi, that's their capital, And right now we're going to Lexington, Mississippi. And we're in Tennessee right now. And so we drive a long ways through Kentucky to get here, really. It's like a 2 or 3 hour drive through Kentucky just to get to Tennessee, because we go from eastern Kentucky to western Kentucky, and that's a long drive. And I see those armadillos all over the road. I've never seen those down in my area of Kentucky, in eastern Kentucky. But I see them all over the place over here in western Kentucky and in Tennessee and Alabama, Mississippi, all over the road, those armadillos. I did not even know those were around here, but that's pretty neat. Kind of like the title of this video here. What this is pretty much a whole load delivered through US Xpress Family Dollar Account. So it is the trailer that I picked up, and it was the most full one I've had yet. Stuff was falling out when I opened the door. Well, when they opened the doors. And when I opened the doors, if I'm not mistaken, if I remember correctly. I know it was extremely full. But so this video is kind of showing that process of what it's like to deliver a full trailer load. Here's another rest area where we stopped at, and you'll do that quite often. I mean, I know I do anyways, because you're drinking stuff along the way and stuff, and sometimes you feel like you can't hardly hold it anymore. You've got to pee so bad, because like I said, that's around a 10-hour drive there. They say you average 50 miles in an hour with these trucks. That's what you're supposed to go. We're in Mississippi now. Just crossed the line a little bit ago, state line. Yeah. We still got 143 miles to go until our destination, but I've not got enough drive time left today to make that. So I'm just trying to get as close as I can, and then try to find us a place to park until tomorrow. I'm just glad we got out of Memphis, because they don't even want you parking at Memphis. It's so dangerous. The crime rate there is so high, they don't want you parking there. We did it one time. Last time we passed through, I didn't even realize I was in Memphis, I don't think. Anyways, though, we got an hour and 15 minutes of drive time left, so. Come on. Huh? The what now?
So it's the second time they've sent me to Tennessee now. And the first time, every backing that I did, I had to block traffic on the main road to get in. And the second time was kind of like that too. Like this one right here is actually like that. The one I'm coming up on here, it's my second time going there, and it was earlier. And as you can see there, I had to back up off the main road. Last time there was a lot of traffic coming from both directions, so it was a lot more complicated last time.
That was one of the easier ones, wasn't it?
That was pretty good.
My last time in Mississippi, this store here was actually my last stop. This time it was my first stop for some reason, and you'll be able to see how full the trailer is here. I took a picture of it and got a little bit on the video, and then they even took a picture of it. The Family Dollar manager, she took a picture of it because she was talking about how full it was. And it was right there. You can see I've kind of got some out already. That way I could kind of move at least. Here I'm kind of showing you what it looks like when you're in the trailer. And it's very important to get your rollers set up good. I'm a newbie. I'm just learning this, but I know for sure it's very important to try and set your trailer up good for one thing. As you can see, this place is actually back behind the store. Some of them have docks. The docks are rare. It's good when you can get those, but a lot of times you don't have a dock, so you've just got to get back close to the door as you can. And some of them you can pull straight into the door too, and that makes it much easier. This one, unfortunately, you couldn't.
Yeah, I'm glad you said that. All right, we're heading on to the next one here in Mississippi, in Pearl, Mississippi. We were just now in, was that Lexington, Mississippi?
Yep.
And that store actually we went to last week. It was our last store last week in Mississippi. It was our first one this week in Mississippi. And they were even talking about how crazy that trailer was, the way it was stacked. They said they had never seen one like that, but I'm not sure why they did that like that. Hopefully I don't get a lot like that. I may even refuse them or tell them they're going to have to fix them. Because they had a lot of totes from other stores just stacked in the back of that trailer. So I had to move all those totes to even have any space to stand. So, but anyways, one good thing, it was so much easier getting in there, because last time you have to block traffic to get in that store. And last time it was busy. This time we got there a little before 7 a.m. Probably around 6:55, and it wasn't too busy, so I backed straight in from off the road and did it pretty quick. And there was a guy walking down the sidewalk there who seen us, and he went like that, gave me the thumbs up. That was pretty neat. We got in there good and everything. And after we got finished, me and Carter went in there and did a little shopping. We love the dollar store, Family Dollar and stuff. But anyways, we're heading on to the next one in Pearl. That one there was over 500 pieces. I'm not sure how big this one is at Pearl. I'll have to look when I get there. And then after Pearl, we've got to go to Jackson, Mississippi, and that's all that are scheduled for today. But we've got one more scheduled for tomorrow here in Mississippi, in Morton, Mississippi. And if we have time, we may go on and try to do it today. I don't know.
As I was saying earlier, though, it's very important to get lined up straight with the door if you can. It will make your whole unload process so much easier if you can. If you've got a curve, a lot of the times, even if you kind of adjust the height of the legs on their rollers, the Family Dollar store rollers, once you get a bunch on the line, if you've got like a heavy one that you sit down, it knocks them off a lot of times. I actually had that happen today in Kentucky. I'm in Evansville, Indiana right now, so I do go to southern Indiana still every now and then. But mainly I'm down south.
This one yet. And you can see it's right in front of us, so this one's going to be around back for sure, but I don't know if I go that way or this way. I'm going to go this way. And this is something you got to do sometimes, figure this stuff out. That's why it's good to use Google Maps. Thankfully, this parking lot isn't very full and I've got plenty of space. I'm guessing it's going to be around back here. Lots of space in this parking lot, so that's really good.
Hey, Dad, remember dirt cheap? There's the Dr. Pepper truck.
So as you can see here, like I can't even tell where to go there, so what I'm gonna do is get off to the side of the road here and walk over there. That's probably it right there. Oh my goodness. Well, that ain't it. We may have to go to the other side. That's why I'm glad we came back here and looked.
It's in.
Parked over there. I have no idea. Man, it is humid here. It is extremely humid. Trying to look for this entrance around back here. Truck is way back there. It's looking like it's over here. And this way, okay, good then. We found it right there. So that won't be so bad then. So what I'll do is I'll come down, pull in there, go up that way, and then back in. That won't be too bad. All right, we found it, and we've done one today so far. Now we're on our second one. I just found the entrance to it. I've already did the macro on this. They call them macros. They're kind of like increments, like a certain point that you get to in your workflow, and I already put a ride, so we made it on time. So that's something you got to do if you want to get your true up, is be on time and everything. But I'm gonna let Carter kind of record now. It's getting in there. I kind of done looked at it, and I can see how I can get in and get back in there. This one's pretty easy. I hope it's pretty easy anyways.
Yeah.
These trucks are it ain't a 53 foot, it's a 48 foot trailer, but still a good amount to turn. What is that car doing? They're waiting on me, it looks like.
That's friendly. I'm one of them.
Yeah, they probably just need to get in there where I was at. It was my mom. So the plan is to pull into this first one here, then pull straight on up and back in. The only thing is, it's kind of rough looking here, and there's like a pothole right there. But I think we're okay. Yeah. Oh yeah, this one's easy. Let's pulling up here.
This is one of the easier ones.
Yep. You want to get out now and go back there and record?
Yeah, if you want.
So I pretty much got myself set up for a straight line back with this one, which is great. But that doesn't happen often.
Okay, we're here. He's backing up. Straight on back.
So that was an easy one to get into there. It'd be nice if it was all that easy, but it does really work on your backing skills here. And I'll show you this too. They've got a store number on the door, and that lets you know that same number will be on your packages out here. That's the one you gotta look for. See there? So that was pretty easy to get into though. Oh, good, that worked. They got little buttons here. I pushed that and you heard it ring. If not, we'd have to walk all the way around this store to get them. So this store here is a great example of just going straight in. As you can see, I'm right up straight to the door. My rollers are set up and going straight in. And you can see down there the roller on the ground down there, not the ones in the truck, but the one on the ground down there, that is a Family Dollar Store's roller. The ones that they have at the store, and they are a little bit different than the ones you have. They have legs on them that are adjustable, and they're able to kind of push their roller in and pull it out. It's not like the aluminum ones that we have. You can kind of stretch it out and stuff, but the farther you stretch it out, the less it's harder for them to row, because there's a bigger gap in between their rollers. So it's harder for some of the boxes to row. The bigger boxes don't really struggle with it, but some of the smaller ones do. And that's something you've got to learn with this job, is like how certain ways to row the boxes and packages of water and stuff like that. They all row different, and trying to have somewhat of an incline so that it goes into the store easily. This one, as I said here, is pretty simple, but every now and then you've got, well, really pretty common that you have curves in it, because you can't, there's so many of these stores that you just can't back straight up to the door. Like
one of them I did in Kentucky today. I had the blind side back, and they had these dumpsters up pretty close to the door, to where you just could not pull in straight to it. There was no way to, because the dumpsters were right in your way of doing that, and that's actually pretty common. But this one here was a really good one, so I was able to pull in, set up. These two guys here, they were really friendly. That's another thing that will dictate your pace and how fast you're able to get stuff done is the workers at these stores. Some of them move quick. These two guys did. They stayed consistent, moved quick. Sometimes you have one worker. Sometimes you have 3 to 4 to 5. I've never had. I think the most I've ever had is 3, and that kept me pretty busy. But like today on it, and I'm not trying to talk bad about her, but there was one today who was younger. She was 20, and she just didn't seem like she really wanted to do the job. She just kind of seemed like she didn't like it, and like she would kept saying she needed to take a break, and it wasn't even a very big store, and then saying that one of her workers was about to be there, so she wanted to wait on them, and you could just tell she did not want to work. And so it really shows kind of quick who wants to and who doesn't, and that does dictate your pace. But the good thing is, one of my favorite things about this account is that you have the true up, so that you make $1,700 a week, minimum. That is before taxes, but still $1,700 a week minimum, as long as you're on time and everything. So I really like that aspect of it. So if other people or things that are out of your hands, kind of slow you down or whatever, it doesn't change the fact that you're going to make at least $1,700, like I said, before taxes. This is pretty physical work. Like, it may not look it really, but some of those are actually pretty heavy. The ones on the floor, I would say up to 60 pounds or so, maybe even a little more than that. Some of them, I would say probably 60 is around the limit though. But you do a lot of bending and lifting, and as you can see there, my shirt is completely soaking wet. And that happens a lot. Lots of the times when I go to these places, before I'm out of the trailer, my shirt is completely soaked. Now that is all sweat right there on me. Carter's done a great job too. The people compliment him a lot. They talk about how hard of a worker he is and stuff. You can tell people really respect that when they see a young man working, or a young woman. But he's doing great. It's hot here in Mississippi. I ain't sweating too bad on my head, but I am on my body. Soaking wet my shirt. To the next one, that was our biggest one right there. It was 900 and some pieces, and the one before it was like 680. This next one I think is 8 something, and that's the last one for today. My pants are falling down because they're soaking wet.
We did the biggest one on the hottest time of the day.
It was so hot that the bushes were dying and stuff here in Mississippi. And but anyways, we're heading on to the next one soon. We may go and take a little break here actually. Yeah. I'm gonna check and see what time my appointment is there for sure. It's only 8.5 miles away. It's 1:18 right now. I'll check and see what time my appointment is. If we got a little time, I'm gonna stay and take a break. Take a little lunch break or something. But anyways, so far so good. This is week 2 on my own now, if I'm not mistaken. Is it week 2 or 3? 2? I think it's week 2 on my own. Actually, no, I think it is week 3.
Yeah, I think it is.
Cause, well, with the trainer though, because I got paid for 3 days with the trainer. Last week I did a full week by myself.
This is the 3rd time I came with you.
Last week was my first full week. This is my 2nd full week on my own. But I think it's actually like my 3rd week on my own, if I'm not mistaken. It's going by pretty quick. Today is Monday, I believe. We started on Sunday. Yesterday we pretty much drove all day because we was in Mississippi, or in Kentucky getting to Mississippi. We made it to Mississippi before we shut down last night. I didn't have quite enough time to get to the first store. I was still around 100 miles from it. It's over a 600-mile drive altogether from the DC in Kentucky to here in Mississippi. But anyways, well, to the place I went in Mississippi anyways. It was in, what was that first one called? The town. So we're ahead of schedule. I was just now checking it. Turn this air conditioner down a little bit. It's hot. We got that air turned up all the way. But I just checked it, and it's not even due until 4:30. It's only 8.5 miles from here, and it's just 1:30 right now. So we're ahead of schedule. 3 hours pretty much ahead of schedule. Or 2.5 or so, because it might take, 20 minutes to get there, 15, depending on if it's a city or whatever. But anyways, we're ahead of schedule. So far so good. something I'm trying to figure out, because like every time so far, this guy's tried to get me to work on Saturday too, and meet with me starting on Sunday, and I told him no the last time. I told him I wasn't doing that, because I said, you know, I left Sunday. You know, nobody ever told me I was going to be working 6 or 7 days a week to make that amount of money. I said the reason I thought I was going to make so much is because this is so hard. Well, physically it's pretty hard because it's so hot in there, for one. Like in that trailer today, it's pretty hot in there. And then it's just a lot of moving, lifting and bending and reaching and all that stuff. And dealing with things against you and stuff. Like kind of how they had that trailer stacked on me was pretty ridiculous, honestly. I couldn't even fit my rollers in there. Then they reworked it to where I could. But even after that, they had totes from another store, from this store, I think, on top of this last store that I did. So I had to move all of them to even get to the last store and to have room to stand. The people at the Family Dollar were even talking about how bad it was. Said they had never seen one that bad, and they took a picture of it. So that just makes your job so much harder. I will say this, like whoever's in charge of like making sure these trailers are stacked properly, or at least reasonably, I wouldn't even say properly, I'd say reasonably, is failing at their job, whoever's doing that, because the way they stack these trailers is ridiculous. You'll get to the end of a store and they'll throw boxes way up on the next one to where you literally got to climb up way up in there to get them, when they're not supposed to do that. And they're supposed to use separators. They don't do. I've seen one of those the whole time I've been here, a separator, and that was when I was with my trainer. So whoever like I said, is in charge of dealing with all of that does a horrible job. I'll just be honest, they do a horrible job.
And tomorrow we got the fourth.
Heading on to the third and last one scheduled for today, but we may do it and the other one. Who knows? If it means I need to talk to these people and find out if I can get these places done sooner. Can I get home sooner? Because then I'll be willing to do that. But if they're going to try to make me do more for the same amount of money for the true up or whatever, and not get home time, then I'm not going to push myself like that.
I don't want to be really negative and just complain in the videos, but I am trying to be honest. But at the same time, this job, like I got a check today, and the pay, I was so happy with it. I was talking to Jacob earlier, and he's a guy that I've been talking to for a while here, and he's from Kentucky as well. And I was telling him about the pay and just how it made it really feel like it made it all worth it. You know, getting my CDL, my permit, everything, going with the trainers, everything. This check here recently really made it all seem worth it. And I ended up clearing over $1,500, so I was really happy with that. But as I said, you know, I do plan to be here for quite a while, at least at this company. I've still got goals in the future. You know, my main goal is to work for myself in the end. I've done it before, and you just can't really beat it. I mean, once you do it, it's hard to ever want to work for someone else again once you work for yourself. I did it for 5 years. But some of y'all tell me about this, and I don't know that I'd see myself doing this for the long run, I mean permanently, but hot shot trucking. If some of you all heard of that, let me know, where you've got your own, you know, dually or whatever, or maybe even just a 2,500, you know, a 3/4 ton or 1 ton, and you haul freight with that. You know, I know some guys do it without a CDL even, so where I've got my CDL, I figured that would help me some. But anyways, you all let me know about that. I don't know if that's a good thing to get into or not. Really, my main goal is tow truck driving in the long run. And this job, the income from it, as I said, I cleared $1,500, and that was after taxes. So I was really happy with that. I mean, that's, like I was telling Jacob earlier, rail, you're talking around $3,600 a month for me anyways, personally. And going from that to here now around $6,000 a month after taxes. And so that's a significant difference. And not trying to talk bad on rail with that, but I've said that many times. To me, that's their main downfall, is their pay. And with the US Express, to me, that's not an issue. I mean, and this type of work I love so much more. This is our third store here. It was an easy backing as well, so you can see there wasn't a lot of cars in the parking lot. If there were a lot of cars, that would have been a different story.
That was an easy backing right there. With the parking lot this big, it makes it a whole lot easier. So here we are. So right there's the door. See the red things? Those are usually right in front of the door to keep you from hitting it, I guess. So that's one sign day. So what I'm doing now, Carter's back there, and he's way up against the building, out of the way. I can see him in my mirror right now. But they're pulling some of their black totes out. because they send those with you too sometimes. Some of the empty totes, they'll send those with you. Sometimes a lot of them. Like last week, one of the places I got totes from in Indiana, they said the last 3 drivers hadn't taken them, so I got like around 100 totes from them, which was kind of ridiculous because those guys need to be taking them too. It ain't all my responsibility to take their totes really, because it gets cramped in that trailer sometimes, especially if you haven't kind of got some of your product out already. But so right now I'm just kind of waiting, and for her, I've already got it backed up. I didn't want to back up too far because I wouldn't have been able to open my doors, and they're supposed to break the seal, the managers are. So she gave me permission to break it. Really, they're supposed to do that, is what they told us at the DC. They said never do it, but I know as my trainer did and stuff, so I just ask them for permission and then I do it. And my doors are open now, and now all I gotta do is back up. This was a great back end right here, and another thing that's really good is when you can line straight up with their door, because stuff rolls off so much easier, and you don't have to worry about having a curve to where it flies off and everything. So this is another good one. A lot different in Mississippi this time than last time, which one of the places this time was a place that I did last time, and it was hard to get in last time because of traffic, but this time where I went early, it wasn't so bad.
Something I've noticed I haven't really shown in this video up to this point, at least while I'm editing here, the audio, is I haven't shown me set these rollers up, which is pretty simple. And as you can see, you just use those totes there to adjust the height, and then they also have these little soda pop containers, and you can see one there in the middle. If on top of that tote, that's a soda pop container, and they're really good if you just need to add a little height. Because it makes a big difference if you get this height right or not. You know, if it's too high, sometimes they'll go down and hit the next roller and just kind of stop. You kind of want it all going at a consistent angle. From what I've learned so far, you know, these are things I'm kind of learning as I go. But, I usually catch on pretty quick to things because I pay attention to things a lot. You know, what works and what doesn't work. And I've palletized in factories before in my life, so I've learned how to do jobs like that without wasted movement, and that really comes in handy in this. And I'll tell you another thing, like as you work your way to the front of that trailer, you know, the more product you get out, the closer you get to the front of the trailer. And as you do that, as soon as you're able to fit another roller in there, it's good to do that. And that's where that little one comes in handy, because if not, you're walking a long ways and carrying these boxes and stuff and then putting them on the roller. And when you're doing this all day, stop after stop, it will drain you. Like these people at the Family Dollar stores, they do it. You know, they had 3 people at this one, and there I am kind of adjusting the height on it a little bit. I remember at this store, they weren't making it all the way to him once they hit his roller down there. And so I adjusted the height to make it a little steeper so that it'd roll on down. I don't know if that's what I was doing there, if I do that later on in this video. And you can see me adjusting them there too. It's very important how you set everything up. It really is. And as I was saying, not to use too much waste to move it, because like I said, they do one of these stores like a week, I think, and they're wore out by the time you're done. Like you talk to them and they're all tired and everything, and I am too, but I'm not done for the day, you know. Or anybody that does this, once you get one done, you're not done. You know, my trainer told me he's done like 5 or 6 in a day before. So it's pretty physical work. My body's already, I feel like, adjusted to it though, honestly. I know, as I've said many times, and people that's watched me for a while know this, I may not look the best physically in shape, and I know I don't, but my heart and lungs are in very good shape physically. I've been doing physical work for years now, and very physical work, really. Hand splitting firewood every winter for the last 5 or, well, going on 6 years, I think now. And man, I'll be glad to get back to that too. I miss hand splitting firewood. I've been thinking about it quite a bit lately, and I will be glad to get back to it. Here's my cameraman giving another angle. He's a pretty good cameraman. But as you can see there, see how there I'm kind of walking? Right there, really, I could fit my little roller in there probably, because it's probably, I'd say, 4 feet. I could go ahead and get some more of those totes and set them up, put my little roller there, and then rather than, you know, grabbing that and stepping back 2 steps, it don't seem like a lot, but when you do it hundreds of times, it wears on you. You see how they just throw this stuff in there, kind of? Sometimes they stack it, and it seems like lots of the stores, too. That's another thing. Once I start getting to the end of one store and there's another store behind it, the labels are usually different colors, but then they have store numbers on these labels. You see those little labels on them? They have different store numbers. So once you start seeing that new store number, and it kind of gets easy after a while, just because you see that one so many times as you're unloading the store, or loading the store, I guess you'd call it. You see it so many times, so once you see a different label, it's kind of easy to recognize and realize you're starting to get into another store. But sometimes you'll think you're done, and you'll climb up top there, and there will be way back in there a bunch of them left still. It's like they just throw them up in there. Somebody told me, I think the guys that load these trailers get paid based on how fast they move or whatever. And I've done lots of production jobs like that, to where I've always liked them, because if you're willing to work, you can make good money. I ran into my trainer at the Family Dollar. He was a great trainer. Out of all the trainers I've had, and not trying to take from none of them, he probably had the best attitude, personality. He was just real laid back, real friendly, wanted to help me. Not that my other ones didn't, but his personality was more laid back. And I've ran into him like probably 2 or 3 times since he's trained me now, at the DC, and then once at a truck stop that's close to the DC. And anyways, when I ran into him, we was kind of talking about it, and he was asking me how I liked it and everything, and I was telling him I liked it, and he said, yeah, something I could see with you was that you work fast, you work good. He said, so you're in the right place to make good money. And he actually worked at rail before too, because we were talking about, that's where he started out, actually, was rail. He's been with this place now, I think 2 or 3 years, US Express. But he started out with the rail, and I was telling him that's where I was at, and he agreed with me with the rail as far as the pay goes. He said that's why he left rail, because of the pay.
All right, we just finished that one, and I can feel it after that, but can't you? It's hot. It's hot. That heat drains you, and when you do 3 in a row like that, well, not really. They were pretty much, these last 2 were pretty close to back, because we sat there for maybe 15 minutes at the other place, 20 maybe, and then drove here, and it was only probably about 15 minutes away. Then we drove here pretty much shortly after we got here. I seen the door open, so we didn't have a big gap in between them. And that one was the one before this was, I think, almost 1,000, and this one was almost 900. So we've done almost 2,000 in the last 2 stops. And then we did one earlier. It's 5 a.m. We've been going since 5 a.m. We've been going since 5 a.m. Right now it is 4:15, 16:15, so 4:15.
I mentioned this earlier, but that pay, I just got it today actually, and the check, it was just a little over 1,500, and I'm still so happy about that. I'm just so happy that finally I feel like I said, it's all paying off. All the time with the trainer, all the time the trainers, the time at the GYCDL program, what money I had to invest, everything. It just feels like it's paid off now at this point. Here we are at store number 4, it looks like, and that may have been all we had, actually. I think 4 stores on this Mississippi load. If I'm not mistaken, that may be all that we had. Now, right now, the trailer that me and Carter are doing now, we're actually parked for the night, and I'm laying here editing this video. We're in Evansville, Indiana, and we did the 4th one. We did 4 today, 4 stores today. And so we started around 6 a.m. and probably finished, I'd say, around 8 p.m. So it was a pretty long day, pretty typical, really. But, oh yeah, I was trying to see who that was down there, what store we're at here exactly. I've been to so many of them here recently, I'm trying to figure out which one that was. But you can see that one has a curve. See how it curved and went towards Carter? Those are the ones that you got to watch, and that happens pretty frequent, really, those curves. Sometimes there's just nothing you can do about it because there's a dumpster or something in the way. And where the curve is at isn't in your rollers, it's in their roller that they have on the ground. Your rollers go straight out to the end, but sometimes you've got to make theirs curve in order to fit yours. But yeah, as you can see here, there's still quite a bit in there. It looks like I might see the wall though back there. So yeah, I think this is probably the last stop. Those paper towels, a lot of times you got to set those on top of other boxes to make them go, because they won't roll by themselves at all. They'll just sit there on the rollers pretty much, just slide a little bit and stop. And some boxes roll different than others. Lots of these boxes are damaged lots of times when you get them. and they won't roll right and everything. Sometimes you can just set them on top of another box. There's little techniques you'll learn along the way that I'm learning already, you know, and some that my trainers showed me as well. So I'm very happy with this account. There's been some people in the comments that have commented and kind of said there's no way I would do that, you know, having to touch everything. And one guy commented and said, you're no longer a CDL holder, you're I can't remember what he called it, a freight handler or something like that. Now I'm still a CDL holder. Last week I drove 1,900 miles last week, and did two full trailer loads last week, which was, I can't remember how many stores exactly, maybe 8 or 9 stores. So I drove 1,900 miles and then did that many stores on top of it. So you still drive plenty in this line of work. I drove to Mississippi, and that was I think over 600 miles in a day. So you drive plenty. Now here's what you do at the end. You've got to, on the very last stop anyways, you've got to get all your totes and kind of get those stacked together and then push them to the front of the trailer. And because I pulled into the DC one time, and the guy, where they inspect your trailer, there's this big tent you pull into, this big, I don't know what you'd call it exactly, but you pull under it and they kind of inspect your trailer, make sure everything's right and everything when it's empty. And when he opened it, he said, yeah, if you got pulled over like that, that would be considered an unsecured load. So now what I do, I since he told me that, I've been getting all of those totes and stacking them as you see us doing there. There's some totes there's 2 different size totes. One's not as wide or as tall as the other one, and the other one's a little wider and a little taller. Those 2 different stacks there, you can see the ones Carter got there are the bigger ones. The ones behind are the smaller. And so you want to try to stack those together. And then you push them all the way to the front of the trailer and then put something across them to secure them. And here we are going to Love's to take a shower. That's what this company uses mainly, is Love's. And how we've been doing that, you know, with Carter, I'm not able to get 2 showers at once, so we both go in the same bathroom, and I just kind of wait on him, and then he waits on me, and he faces the other way and plays his phone, and I do the same thing. And, you know, he's my son, so. But that's how we've been doing it. He wanted to record those Tesla Cybertrucks. Him and my little boy Camden seen them somewhere, and they think they're so cool now. Those trucks, I mean, which I had never seen those at all until here recently, one of those Cybertrucks or whatever. Now I'm guessing we're probably going back to the DC at this point, because I think that was our last one in Mississippi. So that's a whole day right there just driving to Mississippi. Literally, it's a full day. Actually, this past time when I went to Mississippi, it was a full day, then plus about 1.5 hours the next morning. So, and then coming back from Mississippi is a full day. So if you go to Mississippi, if you get all of your stores unloaded in one day, which you may not, but if you do, you've still got 2 days of driving to get there and to get back. So you're talking about 3 days in Mississippi, you know. Whereas some of these other ones where you're close may not be like that.
And it is packed. Isn't it, Dad? There's Express.
That's what happens when you come here at these truck stops late at night. There's no spots. Oh. That one? It is, isn't it? Nope.
Nope. Too good to be true.
It's almost 9 o'clock, so it's no surprise, really.
It's
I usually
8:40.
don't even try them this late at night. But I'm tired, and we seen one on the way, so we figured we'd stop in here and check it out.
Real.
As you can see, not happening. That's why all these guys are heading out, probably.
Yeah.
We stopped at that Love's. I just left there, and as I got on the interstate here, there was a sign that said rest area 1 mile, maybe 1.5 miles, something like that. So we're gonna go check it out. Last time we stopped that rest area, it was very full as well. Because with these, when they send me home sometimes, I try to get as close as I can, but I don't have enough time to get there, so I end up driving till late at night. That's common here. With rail, that was rare for me to drive at nighttime. Here, it's pretty common. But anyways, it'll probably be pretty full, but I'm gonna find somewhere there to park. We'll see how it goes. That's probably where a lot of these guys are going. They probably left Love just now, and now they're going to this rest area. They're probably like me, that they probably had a long day and they're ready to shut down and rest.
shut down, kick back, and relax.
Because we did one store today too, but then after that we've been driving about all day. I'm not sure how many exactly, over 400 miles after doing that store. But yeah, I doubt if there's any spots down through there. You can see it looks pretty full all the way down through there. So I took this spot. This is where we're staying for the night. We're at a rest area right down the road from that Love's. And like I said, this spot, really you're not supposed to pull in it. There's, you know, coming off the ramp there, off the highway, I mean. And then I just pulled in this first spot here. You're not really supposed to do that. As you can see back there, that's where all the truckers are at. But anyways, we're tired, and I see guys do this stuff all the time. I always just try to make sure the spot that I park in isn't one where I would get hit easily. Because like I see guys a lot of times up and down the ramp itself, and I've actually done that one time, but I tried to get as far out of the way as I could, and I didn't have Carter with me. But you could easily get hit like that. Like the other day when I was at a rest area, I asked this guy, I said, do you think we'll be all right here? And he said, we'll have to be. So, I mean, just try to make sure you're somewhere where you're not going to get hit, especially when it's dark and somebody's coming through here. But I'm plenty off the road here, so should be good. Been a long day today, and this video is going to be kind of just a one whole run, you know, doing one whole trailer load. But yeah, let's see. Here comes another guy trying to find a place. Coming in right now. Wonder what he'll do. So you just got to park wherever you can, really, sometimes. There's another coming in. Anyway, should be good right here. You can see those guys, they parked back there, and I was literally just back there talking, and one pulled on that side, one pulled on this side. So this is where we're staying for tonight. These rest areas a lot of time are really pretty areas. And I feel pretty safe at them usually. You've got a lot of truckers here. That doesn't mean thieves won't come or people, you know, but mess with you. But I've never had it happen at one of these places yet, not that I know of anyways. Is it comfy?
Comfy.
That's all that matters. All right, this is where we're staying. Rest area, kind of what it looks like in your truck at nighttime. It's cozy, really. So I told him just now when I got in this bed, man, it feels good to lay down.
Do you see my foot over there? Not over there, over there. Do you not see my finger?
I don't see your finger, I don't see no foot.
It's over here.
Anyways, about to settle in for the night here, lay down and relax a little bit. It's already after 9 o'clock p.m. in this side of Kentucky. Where my wife's at in eastern Kentucky, it's actually like after 10. So there's an hour difference in time. But tomorrow we're heading to Tennessee. It has been a long day today, and tomorrow, once I get the trailer, that'll be the end of this video, because this video is kind of just showing what a load looks like with a rail. Rail. That's how tired I am. How a load looks, how a Family Dollar load looks with U.S. Express.
Yes.
There we go. All right. All right, we just got back to the DC, the distribution center here in Moorhead, Kentucky. And now I'm taking this empty and, well, I've got to get my roller since they still don't have me a rack, which I'm actually going to ask them about that in the office today. Normally when I come back here, every time I have so far, it's been later, so the office has been closed. I think after 5 they close. So I get my paperwork for my next load at the guard shack, but where they're open right now, that woman said the papers are up here in the office. So while I'm up there, I'm going to ask them about getting me a rack, because there's no need to keep making me do this without a rack. It's just unnecessary. That's something, as my trainer said, that should be required for this job, is one of those racks. But since I don't have one, I'm going to have to find my trailer and then go and take these rollers, break the seal on the new trailer, put these rollers in it, then get this one inspected, drop it off, and then go pick the new one up and head out. All right, so I pulled over here where I got to go to. They gave me my new packet here. It says A6, which is the row that I'm in now. So that makes it pretty easy for you. Once you kind of learn where those are, I'm still learning. 48403 is the trailer number. That's on the top as well. And then 2026 is my trip number. And then it has all my paperwork inside. So now what I'm going to do, I just asked her about a rack while I'm in there, and she said she's to wait out here and she's supposed to call me back. I just ran into my trainer here. He walked up and was talking to me. It was neat running into him. The second one I had, who was a really good trainer, and we were kind of talking about things a little bit, but he likes it here too. And he said, yeah, I see how you work. You know, you're willing to work. He said, you're in the right place for that. So it was good to hear that from him. I like it here a lot, honestly, so far. I've been frustrated with some things and stuff, but all in all, I like this job a lot. There, got me a rack. Finally. They got that on there quick too. Must be pretty easy installation. But yeah, I got me a rack now. Thank goodness. Awesome. And that's that. Checked out at the guard check just now. Got my packet. Heading on to the next one. It was in Tennessee, but they must have switched it on me. I got a rack now, so I'm happy about that. And I ran into my trainer, and talking to him was kind of encouraging too, because he was nothing but positive, you know, the things he was saying. So anyways, we're here now. We're about to head out, and they switched it from Tennessee to Kentucky. So anyways, here's the end of a full run with US Xpress, the Family Dollar account. Hopefully it's helpful to you in some way or another. I know I like to research stuff like that if I'm getting into something and somebody leaves some helpful information. So I'm trying to make this as informative and as helpful and as honest as I can. But anyways, you all be safe out there. I appreciate all the kind comments and everything. Good to hear from all y'all that are trucking. I wish you the best with it. Be safe and God bless.
Have fun trucking.